Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the Daily Kruger Connection. Let's see. Here we go. Before we start, a little introduction. My name is Xiaerzhate. I am an international student from China. I have been, my major in WSU is sports science. I have been working in UREC WSU for about a year now as a personal trainer. I also minor in strength and conditioning in bowler departments in WSU. Um, yeah, I've been. It's about to be my senior year. So today we're gonna talk about the. Let me put this. Oops. Just have. Here we go. Today we're gonna talk about the importance and value of calisthenic workouts. So I starting to do these workouts right after COVID hit because the gym are starting to close down, and at home in my apartment I have little to no equipment. This is the time I start to realize the importance and value of calisthenics workouts. So let's get started. So what is calisthenic workout? So calisthenic is any type of exercise that you do with your own body weight. It is the ability to use your body to create resistance in order to develop total body strength, flexibility, mobility, and overall fitness level. It doesn't just limit to those three aspects. It also can actually, you can actually use the calisthenics to train explosive movements such as a jump squat, jump box. You can train power, not only strength, flexibility, and mobility. Some example are push-ups, lunges, crunches, pull-ups, handstands, running, and agility works. It also counts as calisthenic workouts. So this is the overview of what is calisthenics. So a little history about calisthenics workouts. So calisthenics come from the Greek origin of the word kalos and thenos, where kalos means beauty and thenos meaning strength. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing them right, but it means the beauty of strength. And throughout history, calisthenics has always been linked to the military complex in the history. For example, if it was first mentioned in the history, in the Chronicles of Herodotus, it has a description of how Spartan army trained for when the Persian army invade. So the famous 300 Spartan story is based on that, and in the history, it was recorded that the Spartan army utilized calisthenics to train every day as for combat. It was also utilized for ancient Greece Olympic competitors and wrestlers. It was also used in training to gladiators in Rome. We're using Shaolin monks to train to defend their temples from foreign invaders. It also can be traced back to India, with yoga being one of the most widely known physical practice of the East. So it really goes back in times, and we notice that the calisthenics is the first step of human to actually utilize strength and conditioning of their own body to become stronger and faster. Calisthenics also has history in America in youth fitness. So it had its first year of calisthenics in 1950s, as a lot of U.S. young citizens were growing overweight and out of shape, and then President Eisenhower was come to establish the President's Council on Youth Fitness. But it wasn't until President Kennedy that this council was valued by the public and the schools. At the end of, so the program went on about was really noticed by President Kennedy, and went on for about 2 years, and about 250,000 school kids took part in this project in 6 days, and they include lots of calisthenic works, and it resulted at the end of that year twice as many students passed the physical fitness test as the year prior. So this showed that the calisthenics is important and beneficial towards the youth physical fitness development as well. So now we know the history and what it did in the history. the calisthenics, let's talk about the importance of the calisthenics workouts, right? So calisthenics is not just physical work. In order to master calisthenics, it means to master your own body weight. It also means to master your calisthenic awareness. Kinesthetic awareness means the connection between muscle and mind, knowing where your body is in space. Developing this awareness gives you ability to know when you are training right or wrong. So this means, think about when you can't do a back squat, when you can't perform a proper back squat, you start with air squat, right? When you start with your own body weight, you know where your knee should be, where your butt should be when you're doing a squat. That way, that's developing the kinesthetic awareness, so you can utilize that in actual weight training. It also develops better physiological intuition. So one example that I encountered with kinesthetic awareness is when I was in probably when I was in high school. That's when I first encountered with it. I was playing basketball, and then I was doing layups. Not until I saw a video recorded myself doing this layup, I had no idea that when I'm doing layup, my legs will kick up like a butt kicker. But I had no idea I was doing that. But seeing the video and then doing it again, it gave me a better understanding of where my body is, and it gave me a better form of doing a layup as well. By mastering calisthenics, you will create a well-rounded athletic basic foundation rooted in general physical preparation, so that your overall motor potential, that's your movement ability to correspondingly improve when you want to specialize later, either strength training or whatever your goal is. So when you're starting to work in calisthenics, calisthenics really work on your basic foundation, and the process is known as the general physical preparedness. It's the form of general training and conditioning used to improve strength, speed, endurance, flexibility, and skills. It is complete, non-specific. Instead, it includes lots of big functional movements that utilize universal motor recruitment patterns and improve work capacity. So if you are starting to work out, calisthenics is a really good place to start. You don't want to just jump into the rack and put a lot of plates on the bar and do barbell back squat, right? When you start working out, you should know your body, you should master your own body weight first, and then move on to the next step. So calisthenics is really just a basic big foundation that you got to build until later that you want to, whatever your fitness goal is, to specialize your training later. Some misconception of calisthenics workouts. So it's one of the main misconception is that you can't build muscle with calisthenics. It's also the same, such as the calisthenic training is only good for endurance. It's not the case. This is a myth because a lot of people don't know variety of calisthenic workouts. When they think about this, they only think of squat, lunges, push-up, and pull-ups, one of those widely known calisthenic workouts, right? But there's a lot to it. When you want to build muscle, you want to stimulate your body differently and in a capacity that your body can deal with, and also break down the muscle tissue, right? If you do it with different variety of exercise, there's going to be new stimulus every time. So for example, if you want to do a push-up, but you can't do a push-up, you start by kneeling pushing up, right? And then progress from that to push-up. After that, you go to foot elevated push-up, and then foot elevated push-up. After that, you go to maybe diamond push-up, and then wide hand stand, wide hand alternating push-up, or one hand push-up. By the time you get to one hand push-up, you already build up so much muscle that you didn't have before, right? So it's not only for endurance. You can absolutely build muscle and strength with the calisthenic workouts. Another myth is that you can meet all your fitness goal with only calisthenics. That's not the truth, but all the fitness goal is calisthenics is the foundation of all your fitness goals. So calisthenics is the base, is somewhere you should start with. And once you master your own body weight, and you know that you have a specific goal, such as, for example, strength training, that's when you go to the next step utilizing weight equipment, right? The next one, okay. Let's talk about how to create a calisthenic workouts. I was thinking about teaching how to create like a template, but then calisthenic workouts has so many different variety of ways to do it. For example, you can put it in circuit training, you can put it in a superset or compound set training. You can also do Tabata style training with the calisthenics, and every minute on a minute training style. So there's so many ways that you can do it with. So I'm not going to cover it in here because that's a lot of materials. I'm just going to talk about the keys to create a good calisthenic workout in general for starters, right? So I got this quote from this guy, Ross Edgley, one of the fittest men on earth, has said, be general in your foundation so you can be specific in your goals. So what he meant by that is using calisthenics to build up that foundation. The foundation is general. You build up your strength, you build up your flexibility, mobility, speed, power by utilizing the calisthenics. And then after you mastering your own body, then go to the specific with the equipment. So build the foundation, creating the base of kinetic awareness, mastering your own body. That's the key to create a good calisthenic workouts. And this will provide a base framework for the neurological construction of all subsequent developed motor skills, right? When you're also doing creating this template for yourself, you should also consider putting all 7 functional movements for exercises. That includes vertical press, vertical pull, horizontal press, horizontal pull, hip dominant, knee dominant, or rotatory stability. You need to include all these movements into your template. Okay. For example, if you're doing a 5 days a week circuit style training, calisthenic works. If every day is whole body, you can do these 7 functional movements for all of them. So for example, the first one is vertical press. That can be handstand, and vertical pull can be pull-ups. Horizontal press can be push-ups. Horizontal pull can be inverted row. Hip dominant can be squat or Romanian deadlift or good mornings. All this with your own body weight. And then knee dominant can be pistol squat, or lunges. And then rotatory stability can be Russian twist, planks, and all the core workouts. And another key is to know how to utilize calisthenics to progressive overload. Progressive overload is key because if you're doing the same thing over and over again, your body eventually is adapt to it, and excuse me, won't have enough stimuli to adapt new stress, right? So what you need to do is expand your exercise library. Like I said before, you need to do variety of push-ups to make your body adapt to new stress every single time. So you can either use variety of exercise. You can also increase the intensity by increasing the rep range or set range, or decreasing the resting time in between. Also, keep in mind that progressive overload should be constant. So every day, so for example, Tuesday should be always harder than the day before. So whatever you train on Monday, you should be able to do it on Tuesday, but more. Yeah. Okay, I think that will be all for today's presentation. Do we have any question? No. Awesome. Oh, here's chat. Oh, thank you. Awesome.